everyone, and welcome to this businesstraining.com video module on Copywriter. So this comes from the question of what is a copywriter? And first, let's go over an overview. The term may be somewhat generic and it may be something that you've heard before, but it may not really be something that you're sure how to define. But its name is again somewhat generic, and in a sense it is. Its name pretty much tells it all. It is someone who writes copy. A copywriter can be a writer for a number of sources, a number of places, and copywriting can take place for nearly all types of marketing, PR, and advertising needs. So this can be anything online, offline, and again, we'll go over the overview of copy. Copy is anything that you read or hear, though it is mostly used to refer to copy that you read online or in a magazine or in an advertisement. There's also copywriting that goes into the writing of a script for an advertisement on TV, an advertisement on the radio, or even an interview used on the radio or on TV, and can also be used when writing a speech for a company executive or a client. So copy is really everywhere. It is everything you read online, and it can be done from the very basic level of someone who's writing their own personal blog to a professional copywriter who writes for a company, for a company's blog, for example. So there are two very different ends to that spectrum, and copywriting is something that anyone can do. Now, copywriters are important because, again, anyone can try to write. People who understand how to present copy differently for different mediums like web, print, or radio can usually do a better job than people who simply try to write something on their own. Now, for example, something that you write for an audio script for a radio interview or a radio advertisement is going to be different than something that you write for a PR or a press release or for a blog post. Now, more importantly, industries market-wide need good writers and writers who know how to write. Writing can be very detrimental to your brand health or to your online health if it's done poorly. Now, being a successful copywriter really depends on first being able to write well, and being able to write well on a different variety of topics and for a variety of target markets is also going to help with your success. For example, a copywriter may not be assigned or may not work just with one area or one industry. They may work with various different industries, especially if you're an independent contractor or someone who's a freelance copywriter. If you work for an agency or if you work in-house as a copywriter, you may be writing about the same thing all the time. But for a majority of copywriters, I think there's going to be a variety of topics that they'll write about. Additionally, the best copywriters will be the ones who can also incorporate things like search engine optimization for, of course, online copy. If they can also incorporate the voice that's unique to the person or the company that they're writing for, that's going to be successful. And additionally, if they're open for criticism, they're going to go a lot farther. We only improve or get better when we have an ability to practice and when we have an ability to get feedback. Now, as a company, and perhaps for your own use to really sell your services, to hire a copywriter can really help to give you that extra boost online. Sometimes you need an expert. Sometimes you need someone who can write eloquently and write correctly for you. Now, more importantly, bad copy, as I've mentioned before on a website, can be very detrimental. In a press release, it can deter future business and really detract from the services and the value that you can add to a company. Now, you can certainly be your own copywriter, but as with most businesses, owners and professionals who work in the company are often doing what they currently do because they're good at it or because they don't want to do something else. Copywriters also are doing that because they're good at it. As an owner of a company, you should be focusing on what you do well, which is either delegating, creating new products, whatever it is you do as an owner. So finding a copywriter can let you focus on what you're good at, but it can also help you to increase your online presence, especially if you've been putting off writing because you feel you're not very good at it, or because you're just waiting for the right person to hire into your company. Whatever the reason, know that copywriters are someone that you can hire independently, that you can hire as a third-party provider or as an outsourcing sort of project. And getting it done sooner rather than later is only going to help your online presence because such things like Google indexing of pages, people linking to your sites, or perhaps deterring people from your site. These are all things that can happen before you have your copy up. So be sure to employ services of a copywriter, as soon as you know you have a need for it. And as a copywriter, be sure that you're reaching out to companies. If you see a poor website, feel free to shoot them an email and say, hey, I offer copywriting services. Would you be interested in them? But like anything that happens online, blatant spamming is not going to be something that gets you very far. So that sums up our businesstraining.com video on copywriters. I hope you've enjoyed it. To learn more about the training and certification programs that we offer, please visit our homepage at businesstraining.com.